And that's what he does in the end.
大家好, hello everyone, it's Tai here. Today, it's a special video. I have a special guest who is Kictor from YouTube, and today I'll be sharing with her some hidden meanings behind TGCF's characters.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. If you haven't seen the first part where we talk about Huang, be sure to check it out on Kictor's YouTube channel. She has some amazing content on Danmei series like Tian Guan Ci Fu and 魔道祖师, so be sure to check it out. So as we talked about on her video, we talked about the hidden meaning behind Huang. After we mention Huang, we have to mention Xie Lian. And for Xie Lian, his character Lian means pity or sympathy, and that basically describes his character and his personality, because Xie Lian is a person, or at least when he was a prince, he pitied everyone from his kingdom, and thus he wanted to help everyone. And pity or sympathy is like his core principle. No matter what he went through, no matter how many hardships he went through, he still kept that pure heart and sympathized with a lot of characters.
Oh my gosh. I I feel like I should know this by being the level of like fan that I am. But I didn't know that, like, right off the bat. Like, you said it perfectly. He pities like the common people. That's like the thing that Hua Cheng loves about him so much, is like, if your dream is to save the common people, then my dream is only you. Like, he has that sympathy that a lot of other rulers never had, and unfortunately that's kind of his downfall, is that he tries to help everybody when you...
Yeah, the spirit of self-sacrifice for the greater good.
Absolutely. Wow. Oh.
After Xie Lian, we have to mention one of the most popular characters in the series, which are the Wind Master and the Water Master. The Water Master's name is called Shi Wu Du, and Wu Du can be interpreted as you cannot pass. How a gushing river, you cannot pass the river. But in Buddhism, it can also mean that you cannot be saved, and it would explain his ending.
Oh my gosh.
Spoilers.
So I've got a question. When someone who understands the language reads a name like that, and you don't know any spoilers, like, right off the bat, do you kind of get a bit of a hint of like, ooh, this character might have something bad happen to him? Or does that not really come to light until later? Oh, right off the bat, you're like, yeah, this is not good.
Yes, most definitely. Many people with a background in Chinese, or someone who knows a bit of Chinese, one of the first things that comes into their mind is that Wu Du, they cannot be saved. So is this like a bad character, or something bad's gonna happen?
Ooh.
So yeah.
Interesting. That's awesome.
And now moving on to his brother, which is Shi Qingxuan. Shi Qingxuan. Qing is a color. It can either mean green or blue, or even somewhere in between.
Hence his color design, hey?
Yeah.
I've straight up, like, I've been trying to make like a cosplay, and the color that they use like in the manhwa, it's like in between this like aqua and teal. So I'm like, maybe that makes more sense because it's a word in Chinese that we don't really have here.
Actually, Qing itself is already somewhat an abstract type of word because it has a lot of meaning to it. And Qing, the color green or blue, can represent hope and perseverance. So that would explain his personality.
Absolutely.
Even after he became a human and like has injuries, he still kept his optimism and still had his hopes high up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like at the end of the book, when they're all making the circle, Shi Qingxuan is there, and even when like Blackwater comes and dressed as Hua Cheng and like shoves him, that's one of my favorite moments, because he's like, "It's okay, I didn't die, I'm okay."
That's one of my favorite moments too.
Yeah, he's all beat up and he's got a limp now and everything, but he still has that perseverance.
He still has the optimism.
Yeah.
And for the last character, which is Xuan, it is also the same character for Blackwater, which is He Xuan. So this word Xuan can mean deep or profound or even mysterious. So for the Windmaster, it would mean that he's a very deep person. You know, you can't describe him in like a couple words. You have to like really explain what he went through in order to describe the character. And as for Blackwater, He Xuan, he's a very mysterious person. Apart from his backstory, we don't know much about him.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting how with the context of the different characters, there's the same meaning, but you kind of view them in different ways.
Yeah, different interpretations of the same word.
Yeah, exactly. Like with Windmaster, his life, even before the tragedy, I feel like it's kind of hard to describe him because he's so crazy and out there and stuff. And then once he's gone through everything, it's like how would you describe someone like that? And then like with He Xuan, he is a little mysterious guy.
Chinese characters are very deep and profound because each Chinese character is a pictograph. And so there's always a meaning to why a character looks like this, especially for traditional Chinese characters. Each radical of a single word can have many meanings to it. And speaking about Chinese radicals, next up we have Qi Rong, which is the green light that wanders. Qi Rong, his surname, Qi, can also be interpreted as relative. And maybe the author is trying to hint something that he's a relative to Xie Lian, maybe. Mm-hmm. And as for Rong, Rong can be split into two parts. The top part, which consists of a dot and sort of a open square, and the bottom bit is Gu. And as we know from the novel, there is a boy later on that comes in called Gu Zi.
No way. So that's already in his name, like right off the bat.
Yeah, it's already in his name. And what's more special about it is that the top part of Qi Rong's name, the Rong, the top part usually has something to do with a house. So it's a house on top of the little boy, which means that he's protecting him.
And that's what he does in the end.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does in the end.
Wow. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. All of that in the name. It's almost like, I wonder if like MXTX like writes the novel and the scenes and then comes up with the name, or like has the idea of like, oh, I have an idea for a character who'll do this thing and has the name established first.
I have like the same thoughts. I was like, how does she come up with these names? I mean, there's like hidden details in it already that tells us what's going to happen in the end. So I'm always thinking, does she know like the entire story before she writes it? That woman is like amazing.
Absolutely incredible. And that it's just so cool too, because I feel like there's no real like English equivalent of something that profound. Sure, some English names have meanings to them, but not in any way that can be kind of played with as much as it can in Chinese, it seems.
Yeah, because every part of a character has a meaning to it. Like even a tiny dot, it actually has a meaning to it.
Wow. Also with Qi Rong, with it being relative, perhaps like a piece of that is because like he's Xi Lian's cousin, and like a part of his personality growing up is that he was the prince's cousin. Like that's all he was. Like he's not even like himself. He's just Xi Lian's cousin.
Yes, most definitely. And since relative is his surname, it probably has like a big important part in his life, because when Qi Rong was little, all he looked up to was his cousin, Xie Lian. And so with relative as his surname is like very important to him.
I think there's a part even in the book when Xi Lian is talking about like a memory he has with Qi Rong as a kid, and Xi Lian's like on a swing set, and he's like, I was swinging high and I could look down and see Qi Rong like with my mom just like staring at me. And I'm like, that is total foreshadowing.
Definitely. Next up is another character with different radicals that can be interpreted. And this is the Rainmaster, Yu Shi Huang. The last character, Huang, can be split into two parts. The top part, which means bamboo, and the bottom part, which means royalty. And so a royalty with bamboo on top, it can mean that she's wearing a bamboo hat, which only commoners wear, like bamboo hat or straw hat. So it means that this royalty is very humble. It sort of connects with her backstory, where she sacrifices herself to protect her kingdom.
Oh, wow. And even then, now she totally lives like the humble life, right? Like she has
Yes.
her ox and like lives on the farm, even though she's like so powerful.
Yeah, next we have Xie Lian's master or teacher when he was still a prince. His name is Mei Nian Qing. And so Nian means to think of or speak. And while Qing means a close friend. And so his name really means thinking of a close friend. From reading the novel, we know who the close friend is. Junwu, the prince of Wuyongguo, the Wuyong kingdom.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool that like even like if Xilian knew that, like oh my gosh. Like so much backstory put into just a little name. Like so much that doesn't become apparent until like the last couple chapters even when it's all
Yeah.
revealed.
It's like those secret, like hidden bombs or like mines that's just ready to blow up.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
just
man.
really exciting once you get to know it.
Absolutely. Like this is the coolest stuff ever.
So that's all for today's video. There are many names in Tian Guan Ci Fu or Heaven Official's Blessing that has many meanings to it. I'll probably say that for another video, and hopefully we can have Kictor back with us once again.
Absolutely.
If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe if you like my channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, 我们下次见。